always inspired by the dreamers who came first. For this kid from the DMV, it was never a question of if, it was a question of when. 1999, suiting up in orange for one of the greatest coaches ever. 2003, top 5 pick in the WNBA draft. 2008, Olympic gold medalist in Beijing. 2019, the first female assistant coach ever for the storied Boston Celtics. Stacking bold dreams on bold dreams. A relentless believer. And now, the highest honor, the biggest dream in coaching, an opportunity to represent the greatest country on the world stage, to uphold our gold standard. Coach Lawson, you've already carried the torch. From a kid with a dream to a leader inspiring the next generation. Visions that have become legacy. Now it's time to light up the world.
For us.
For us.
For us. For us.
For us.
For us.
Duke is with you. USA Basketball is with you. The future is with you. Live your dream, Coach, and inspire a million more.
Good afternoon and welcome to this special day here at Cameron Indoor Stadium, where we formally introduce Kara Lawson as the head coach of the U.S. Women's National Team. My name's Jay Billis of ESPN. Thank you for holding your applause on that. But it's my honor to be here today as Kara Lawson is introduced formally and to be here on behalf of USA Basketball and to acknowledge the contribution that this place, Duke University, has made to the success of USA Basketball over the years. It's been a tremendous amount of success, and I know Duke is very proud of all of the representatives, both players and coaches and administrators, that have had the honor of representing the United States under the USA Basketball flag. We have a number of different speakers today, and then there'll be some time for media questions and photos before we have a reception honoring Kara after this. But we wanted to start off, and it's my honor to introduce the chairman of USA Basketball, retired General Martin Dempsey.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here to help us introduce and congratulate the new head coach of the United States Women's National Basketball Team, Coach Kara Lawson, who will lead our team through the World Cup in 2026 and the Olympics in 2028. Let that sink in for a moment, Kara Lawson. We all know you've earned it. We're all very proud of you. Your selection is an awesome accomplishment, earned over many years of participation with USA Basketball and as a player and as a coach. And it is, of course, an awesome responsibility. Thanks for taking it on. And I want to add my thanks to Nina King and Duke University for agreeing to share you with us from time to time over the next 2 years as you prepare to compete at the very highest level of international basketball competition. You were selected, obviously, for your impressive basketball knowledge and coaching skills, but you were also selected because of your leadership, because of your love of the game, for your commitment to the development of your players, on and off the court, and for your demonstrated character. You were selected because you know that when we put on the USA jersey, we represent a culture of excellence, of commitment, teamwork, and sportsmanship, nurtured by coaches and players who have come before you over decades of competition. You were selected because you understand that we represent our country and that it's important that when we compete, we not only win, but it's also important how we win. You, better than most, understand that as the game has grown globally, the task of standing atop the medal stand has become harder. Not so long ago, you gave a speech to a group of young players that went viral over social media. In it, you described how life and basketball never gets easier. Things just get harder. But you assured them, us, and everyone who saw that speech that those who win and those who succeed in life are those who handle harder better. So here's your chance, Coach. Starting today, we're counting on you to help us handle harder better as we prepare for the World Cup and for the Olympics. All of us at USA Basketball look forward to working together with you to continue the journey of our women's basketball national team as the greatest basketball dynasty ever. Thank you very much.
General, thank you. USA Basketball CEO Jim Tooley has been at the helm of USA Basketball since 2001, and he has been with that organization for over 30 years now. And in that time, USA Basketball has experienced unprecedented success on the world stage at every level of play. In Jim's time at USA Basketball, literally hundreds of gold medals have been won by USA Basketball teams from boys and girls level all the way up to the Olympics. It has been an unprecedented level of success. And so now please welcome the CEO of USA Basketball, Jim Tooley.
Thank you all very much. Pleasure to be here today, and I want to share 3 quick stories about Kara. First, 2001, she's a member of the World University Games in Beijing. We were at a team dinner and we were talking about different things, and it was at that moment, I mentioned this to you the other day, that you had played youth football. But other things I learned from other players, that a lot of players were talking about, they're looking forward to their upcoming college season. And so I asked Kara, are you looking forward to your season? She says, I can't think about that right now. I'm just focused on winning the gold medal here in China. So that was one of the first moments I saw Kara Lawson becoming Kara Lawson. And it was really a prideful moment, and I'm proud to say that we did go on and win the gold medal. The second story, I fast forward to 2017. Kara starts coaching our 3x3 national teams, both men's and women's, actually. And at that time, 3x3 had just gotten put into the Olympic Games as a new discipline. And it was all new to us, and we're trying to figure out how do you practice with just 4 players? How do you condition the players, and how do you prepare for your opponent? And so Kara was with us doing that for 5 years, and that ultimately led to the first ever Olympic gold medal in 3x3 competition. But what I marveled about during that time was her commitment to preparation. The last story I'll tell you is there was a group of us, we were at a training camp in Colorado Springs, and we were talking about, we went on a hike. I don't know if you remember this, but we went on a hike and we did the incline. And it's only about a mile and a half long, but it's quite steep, 45% grades in many places, 2,000 vertical feet climb. And about a third of the way up, we ran into a gentleman who was struggling. He was having a really hard time. And Kara stopped to talk to him. I don't know if he recognized you, but Kara was talking about keep going, keep trying. She was inspiring him and encouraging him. So I share these stories with you because they sum up why Kara Lawson is a great choice to be our next women's national team head coach. Her focus, commitment to preparation, and her ability to inspire and motivate. So Kara, looking forward to working with you and continuing the journey. Thank you.
The USA basketball women's national team has been rightfully called one of the greatest dynasties in the history of sports. And it has dominated the game of basketball on the world stage at every level of play, the World Cup, the Olympics. Talk about unprecedented levels of success. And overseeing the day-to-day operations of the U.S. women's national team for USA basketball is Brianna Gould. Please welcome her to the stage.
As has been shared, USA Basketball's women's national team is considered one of the greatest dynasties in team sports. It has earned this reputation by winning 10 Olympic gold medals, including 8 consecutive, as well as 11 World Cup championships, including 4 consecutive, and I know we're going off next fall to try and make that 5. It has earned, thank you. It has earned that reputation due to the talent, passion, dedication of our players and coaches. In the spring, USA Basketball had the opportunity to have one of the most decorated USA Basketball and women's basketball players in history join our leadership team by naming Sue Bird the first ever women's national team managing director. It is my honor to welcome Sue Bird to the stage to talk about her first order of business.
Hi, everybody. Echoing what's already been said, thank you to everyone who's here, those that helped put today on in celebration of Kara. When I thought about the qualities that we were going to need for our head coach, I looked for someone who understood the experience of having USA on their chest, right? In Kara's case, it came in the form of a jersey as well as a polo. And I think with the 13 gold medals that she has won as both a coach and a player, her international experience is unmatched, and her ability and the proof that she has shown to win on these big stages. Your journey, Kara, has perfectly positioned you and prepared you for this moment. And honestly, without further ado, I'm just gonna bring you up. Everybody, please welcome Kara Lawson, our next USA Basketball Women's National Team head coach.
The game just got started. I already need a timeout. This is just crazy. I came prepared. Billy Moore, Sue Gunner, Pat Summit, Kay Yao, Teresa Grentz, Tara Vanderveer, Nell Fortner, Van Chancellor, Ann Donovan, Gina Wariema, Dawn Staley, Cheryl Reeve. Now, Kara Lawson. what a powerful group to join. That's why the emotion is bubbling up inside of me. It's an amazing, powerful group that has not only paved the way, but pushed the envelope of women's basketball to where it is today, and helped create the standard and the expectations that everyone that stands up talks about when they talk about USA basketball. It's a special place, it's a special feeling, it's a special opportunity. And I understand and feel that deeply here today. It starts with my family, with my mom. She's so excited. She's been really excited and really emotional, as have I been. She's been very nervous, and I told her, Mom, you don't have to be nervous, I already got it. There's nothing to be nervous about. My sisters and Susan and Mary, and all three of them, for those of you that are around the game of basketball, I don't really know if they even like basketball, but they've had to come to so many games over the years, and then they have to change colors of their wardrobe. They were in Tennessee orange, and then they were in purple of the Sacramento Monarchs, and they were in the green of the Boston Celtics, and now they're in the blue of the Duke Blue Devils. And they've always changed. They've never complained about the color if it wasn't their color. And they always come out in support. Watching games in the middle of the night on YouTube when I was coaching 3x3, and the games were on in Asia, and they were on in South America, and they were on in Europe. And they were watching those games, them and maybe 132 other people in total. But they were there, and they were watching them, and I appreciate their support so much. You know, my dad was just a great influence in my life. He's no longer with us, but I know he'd be really proud. He probably would have taken Jay's job of running the press conference if he were still alive. He would have wanted to be front and center for sure, but I know he'd be really proud of this day and the work that it took for me to get here. To become a coach, it takes an opportunity. Somebody along the line has to believe in your ability. Somebody has to give you that chance. And I might be one of the few people in history that USA Basketball was their first coaching job. USA Basketball gave me my first opportunity. I had no experience coaching. I had a lot of experience playing. And they believed in me first. That's another reason why it's so emotional to be standing up before you as a United States Women's National Team coach, because this was the first group, this federation, that believed in my coaching ability and helped me grow in that. General Dempsey has been an incredible mentor for me, incredible source of support throughout my time. And I've known him since I was a young person in the DMV. I've known General Dempsey and his wife, Deanie, and their family has always supported me in whatever endeavor that I've tried to capture. Since Jim told 3 stories, I have one for him. Jim Tooley has been a great supporter of mine, someone that I can trust, and someone that I know believes in me. And when I took on the head coach of the 3-on-3 team in Tokyo, as you can remember, it was the COVID Olympics, and families weren't able to fly over, nobody was able to come to support our players and our coaches in person. And in 3-on-3, we have 4 players, 3 players and a sub. And I would be the 5th, and we needed someone to be the 6th. So Jim, the CEO of USA Basketball, steps up every day to come be our 6th in our walkthroughs. We had to walk through the scout for the other team. We had to make sure that our players were prepared each day before every game. So he came down to our area every game. We had a floor taped on the ground, on the carpet. Those of you that are basketball players know about walkthroughs in hotels. And we would walk through the plays. And he did a pretty good job. He wasn't perfect, but he was coachable. And really, that's all you can ask for, is that someone is coachable. He did that, and I appreciate that, Jim. And winning that gold medal was such a fantastic experience, and thank you for supporting us in that way. Bree is a measure of calm and poise until the officials make a bad call. But she is somebody that stays steady, and I've appreciated that through my time, just your presence and your poise throughout everything that's going on, to be able to remain calm. Birdie, we go back longer than almost everybody in this room. Always had a lot of respect for Sue. We've known each other since we were young, playing against each other in AAU, playing against each other in college and the pros, and then we had the opportunity to play together on the national team. She's a great teammate. She's someone that is supportive of every player on the team and has the ability to see the strengths and the weaknesses of the people that she works with. And I know that we're going to lean on her expertise a lot during this process. And I have a great deal of trust in Sue and her role and what we're going to be able to do together. So I'm very thankful for that. I was coaching 3-on-3 and was having a great time, and my phone rang, and it was Brad Stevens from the Boston Celtics. Brad Stevens was the first person to give me an opportunity coaching 5-on-5. I had 3-on-3 experience, but I didn't have any 5-on-5 experience coaching. And he gave me that opportunity, and I'm thankful for that, Brad. I learned a lot. I stayed 1 year for the Boston Celtics. You might not think 1 year is a long time. And I would challenge you on that, because 1 year with the right person and with the right people can change your perspective. I learned so much being an assistant coach for Brad, and there's no doubt that he's a big reason why I'm standing up here. He continues to be a great friend and a mentor. I appreciate you being here, Brad. While I was with the Boston Celtics, I got a phone call from Nina King about a position at Duke University, a head coach position. And we met in the lobby of the Boston Celtics practice facility during COVID. I never saw her face. It was behind a mask. We were both behind the mask. But I knew instantly that there was a connection between Nina and I. I knew instantly that Duke was a place that I had to come. I knew it. I didn't want to be a little weird, so I didn't tell her that right away. I waited a couple days. But I called her, and it felt like this was the next step. And I had hoped that that feeling was reciprocated, and I was really pleased when it was. To come to Duke University has been one of the great privileges of my life, to be the coach here, to be able to grow here, and to be given the opportunity to be the head coach for the first time in my career on 5-on-5 is very special. And I know that the growth that I've experienced here, and also the ability to continue to work with USA Basketball during my tenure at Duke. Thank you, Nina, for your support and for your belief. There's so many people that are here that I want to thank, and I won't be able to thank individually, but I will share with you that when I got the call to be the next head coach for the U.S., I did think about a few historical things. The Olympics in Los Angeles, 2028 will be the third time that the Olympics will be contested in Los Angeles. The first time was 1932, and the second time was 1984. And 2028 will be the third time. Women's basketball wasn't contested until the Olympics until 1976. That was the first time that women's basketball players had an opportunity to win a medal. So the first coach of the U.S. women's national team to coach in an LA Olympics is Pat Summitt. Three years is a long time to wait. But I will assure you, to walk into that Olympics, the same city that my coach did, and to lead this team in pursuit of a gold medal It's very special. Very special. My players will tell you this is a regular Tuesday with me crying, okay? This is what normally happens, you know, it's just a part of it. But I do want to thank them. Y'all you did dress up like me for this press conference. This is great. Y'all look so great. Anybody that's ever been a coach knows that the universal truth is you are nothing without good players. You are nothing without good players. You have to have good players to have the greatest success. And I told them this last week, but I know I'm not standing here without these players. Their decision to come to Duke when it wasn't the most popular thing to do, their decision to commit to being great basketball players and to turning our program into one of the top programs in the country. I'm forever indebted to you guys and what you've done and what you mean to me. I admire you, I love you, and I hope that you're so proud of your coach standing up here. And every day that I come to the gym, every day that I get a chance to work with you is a joy, and that is the dream. The dream is that. The dream come true is to get a chance to work with great players. The results are the results, but the chance to have the relationships that I have with you, the connection that I have with you every day, that means everything to me. So thank you. I love you. What makes basketball special is the relationships that you make during it. And I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of teammates here, high school teammates, college teammates, friends, and all the people that helped me grow as a young person. And I'm so thankful that you all took time out of your day to come. And I hope you feel the same measure of pride that my players do, that you were a part of this. You are. And I called so many people in this section over here to tell them the news. And the reactions were amazing. I should have taped them. There was a lot of things, a lot of screaming and a lot of words I can't say up here. But so many of them back into the phone said to me, "We did it." Powerful. So, I love all you being here. Thank you so much. And yeah, we did it.
Did you anticipate this being a 3-handkerchief event?
I had a great deal of confidence walking out, and I was offered the whole pack. And I said, nah, I don't need that many. Miscalculation.
Sue, you and Kara were teammates on the 2008 Olympic team in Beijing. I think Coach K called Kara a relentless believer. As a teammate and a competitor, what qualities did Kara exhibit that made you a believer in her?
Yeah, I mean, even though the one and only time we were teammates was that 2008 Olympics, as Kara mentioned, played against each other. I mean, we go back to like 10, 11 years old. Kara rocked those pigtails. That's what we called you, by the way, behind your back. We're like, who's guarding pigtails? Saw her.
Nobody.
This is your moment. Saw you in Sports Illustrated for Kids with the youth football. They did a big article. Sports Illustrated for Kids, guys, that was like Slam Magazine when I was a kid. So I've known Kara, not as a teammate, again, until 2008, but as somebody I had to compete against. And then in the WNBA, you obviously compete, but you also get to know people, and then, of course, the Olympics. And the thing about Kara, man, you always knew, and everybody touched on this, and I think that speaks to who you are. You always knew she was going to be prepared. You always knew that look in her eyes. She was going for the jugular. And the combination there is exactly who she was in that Olympics. And every day I saw it, not just practice in games, even in shoot-arounds. When we were walking through plays, Kara would be like, making the hard cut. We were like, we're all walking. Kara's making the hard cut, because she wasn't going to miss a moment. And then when the gold medal game came, Kara was the one that stepped up, balled out, got us that gold medal. And I don't think anybody on the roster, and we're talking legends, Lisa Leslie, nobody on that roster was surprised by that moment, because that's who Kara is. And so for the first time, I got to see that firsthand.
Kara, you coached the AmeriCup USA basketball team to a gold medal in Chile, which guarantees a spot in the World Cup in Berlin in 2026. And with all your experience at every level of the game of basketball, I think some people might consider an international competition representing the United States to feel different. How is coaching the U.S. women's national team going to be different, in your view, from coaching in the NBA or coaching in college?
I think that the talent level speaks for itself. It's some of the top players in the world, and they have a great understanding of what it takes and how they have to combine. I think everybody knows the time that you have together is shorter. So that's probably the biggest difference between USA Basketball and a traditional team, in terms of college having a lot of practices to gel, or WNBA having a season to be able to evolve and grow. And this is a little bit shorter. And so that usually provides the biggest challenge. You have to make quick decisions, and you have to be decisive in them. And the players have the responsibility to be able to gel as quickly as we can.
Can either of you, or both of you, if you would, as best you can, articulate the feeling of representing your country in international competition? It's got to be a feeling that is unrivaled by anything else you can do.
It is the best feeling that I've had in sport, is representing the United States and competing alongside great players and great competitors, and feeling the support of the country behind you. And if you're so fortunate to win, which we have been able to stand on the podium and hear the national anthem played, is something that is seared into your brain. It's something that you don't forget.
Yeah, similarly, I think the word that comes to mind is satisfaction. Very rarely in sport do you get to feel that satisfied, but that moment on the podium, there's the micro where you're very much in your own process, journey, whatever we're calling it these days, where you're just trying to make a team, you're just trying to perform, you're just trying to win. And so to achieve, yeah, micro, it's like you feel it, but then you zoom out for that macro, and you touched on it, Kara, to represent your country, to walk down the street, and people generally, sometimes they want to talk about college, sometimes they always want to talk about the gold medal that you have. Where do you keep it? Where is it? Can I see it? Can I touch it? People want to be a part of that, and that's when it, for me, really hit, like, this is what representing your country is. You're doing it for everyone, and there's really no better feeling.
Well, where do you keep it?
Ah, Jillian.
We don't
Them, she has 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a scavenger hunt in my house. I make everybody do it when they enter.
So this cycle that is coming up and really starting today with announcing Kara Lawson as the head coach of the U.S. women's national team, Sue, what does that cycle look like with regard to camps, exhibitions, and then the selection of the team?
Yeah, I mean, Kara touched on it. Everybody who knows. We don't get a lot of training time. We will have a camp in the fall. There is a World Cup qualifier, which we will attend in March. Luckily, we've already qualified, thanks to the AmeriCup team. But those are all opportunities to get together, to train together, to very quickly put it all together. I think that is what also separates Kara, is experiencing that as a player, understanding what you need as a player. She now has experience as a coach, understanding these 3-day moments where you have to get a lot in and being able to communicate that. I was talking to Brad Stevens before, and I agree. Your ability to communicate, I think, is really what's going to come through in these little moments. But that's what the next year looks like as we get ready for the World Cup. I know we all want to talk about LA, I do too, but we do have a World Cup in Germany next fall. So that's really what the next year will look like. So not a lot, but enough.
Kara, what, not necessarily personnel, but what do you expect your team to look like, to exhibit in order to be a world champion and ultimately Olympic champion?
I think it starts with competing and having a team that's highly competitive, toughness and how hard we play, being kind of the hallmark of what we do. That's how it has to be if you want to win at the highest level. And then I think the depth of our roster consistently over the years has been a big advantage for us in the tournaments, in the world tournaments. And we're going to need that. The depth is really important. And I think the unselfishness is a piece of it. 12 players and understanding that we all have to come together and figure out quickly what's going to be the best for our group. And then once we figure it out, everyone being unselfish enough to go forward with it.
Well, speaking of depth, I don't want to get into the depth of your tissues here, but you referenced it. Your mom is here, your sisters, your high school teammates are here. On an emotional level, what's the feeling of finally stepping up here and accepting the role as head coach of the U.S. women's national team?
A great deal of pride, and I think one of the best feelings in life is to be able to make your parents proud. I think when you're growing up and you have an opportunity to do something and you can really feel that they're proud of you, that's special. So I know my mom is proud of me, and it's special to feel that and see that pride in her face, since she got down here yesterday.
Well, Mom, congratulations. And we're going to open it up now for media questions. There are microphones on either side, on both sides, I should say, of the center aisle. So if there are any media questions, please feel free to step forward and ask whatever questions you may have of Kara Lawson or Sue Bird. I'm not taking questions today, by the way.
Okay, hey, Carol. Jim Sumner from Go Duke the magazine. Carol, I want to ask you, it's kind of a two-part question. When did this first become a dream of yours, a goal of yours, and when did you realize this is actually something I can pull off?
When I started coaching back with USA Basketball in 2017 with the 3-on-3 program, that was when I set that as a goal, to eventually try to reach this position. I didn't have a timetable on when I had wanted to do it by or anything like that, but I just wanted to make sure that I was equipped and ready and prepared for whenever that time came. And so I just threw myself into working and learning and growing and trying to associate with some of the top coaches and learn, and in doing so, be ready. And the second part of your question, I forgot it already.
I guess when did you realize this was something, it wasn't just a dream, it was actually something, it was a mountain you could climb?
I knew that at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, a quick follow-up, if I may. What are the key lessons you've learned moving up that, climbing that mountain that you can carry over to being the head coach?
That it takes everybody. It takes the head coach, it takes the assistant coaches, it takes the support staff, it takes the federation, it takes every player that makes the roster, every player that's in the pool, that comes to the training camps. It takes a whole commitment to be able to win on the world stage. And I appreciate and I value everybody's role in this process. And then I know my job is to be really competent in my role in the process. But everyone is important and everyone plays a part. and we need that to be able to win at the highest level.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Mitch Northam, SB Nation. This is for Sue. How long have you been thinking about this decision, you know, who the next coach of this team would be, and how did Kara start to emerge as a serious candidate?
Yeah, pretty much when I took the position. So since that moment, this was going to be the first big decision that I was going to make. This was going to be the first, you know, box that needed to be checked in order for, you know, everything else to fall into place. So pretty much right away. And then with that, you know, you start to look, I think, first and foremost at experience, right? Who has coaching experience? Who has USA basketball coaching experience? That to me is paramount because it is, I would argue, the most unique basketball experience that we have in this country. And that goes for college, professional, you name it. It's very unique. So you want somebody who has an understanding of that. And then, of course, you get into some of the qualities that you want in a coach. I already mentioned communication. I think there's something about understanding the game of basketball itself, understanding, these are WNBA players, understanding the professional game, understanding them as individuals, so on and so forth. And then I thought about coaches I've played for. I thought about the ones I loved, I thought about the ones I didn't love so much. And that's just the reality of this, you know? And each coach, though, I can think back to and I learned something. The experience gave me a different perspective. And I think when you put all of that into this one little bucket, if you will, a couple of names emerge, and Kara was 100% one of them, clearly.
Thanks.
Shelby Swanson with the Raleigh News and Observer. I had another question for Sue here. We heard this morning Kara kind of take us through when she got the call and was in, I think, the Atlanta airport. And from your perspective, just what do you remember about that call, and what did you guys talk about?
Yeah, I was also in an airport, so it kind of worked out really well. I think we were both, you know, in a bit of a time crunch. Yeah, what I remember was wanting to, like, understanding the magnitude of the moment, to be honest, for both of us. I've never done this before either. So wanting to enjoy it for myself, wanting to get it right for Kara. But pretty quickly, it was just, hey, if you'd like this job, it's yours, kind of a vibe. And, you know, of course she accepted. And I think in that moment, we just kind of took in that moment. You know, she shared some things she had been thinking previously. I, of course, said why I chose her to be the coach. And then from that point on, it was just kind of us sharing some things back and forth. And then we had flights to catch.
And I guess 2 quick follow-ups, just for detail's sake. What airport were you in?
God, what airport was I in? Who travels a lot here? I have no idea.
Yeah, no.
I think I was in New York. One of them in New York.
All right, I appreciate that. And then another question for Kara, if you don't mind. Again, not trying to get you into the tissues, but obviously you shared so much emotion with just this morning and just now speaking about Coach Summit and her impact on you. You think if she were here and could talk to you, what advice would she give you? What would she say?
I think she would probably tell me to enjoy the opportunity to be myself and to make sure we were good on defense.
Thank you.
We'll have a few moments here for some media photographs. But after this, those have been, we'd invite those that have received an invitation already, I guess. There'll be a reception right behind this podium, just across midcourt, the midcourt line. And we look forward to seeing you there. But thank you all for being here for this, this historic day. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.